Welcome to season 2 of It Takes a Family, a podcast that helps take parenting from desperation to hope. I'm one of your hosts, Andy.
Hey, and I'm one of your co-hosts, Kelly. Once a week, we highlight experts and other parents like you who have been in the trenches of parenting, bringing hard lessons learned and insights on how to navigate even the most difficult of family circumstances.
Yes, this season we're tackling Gen Z mental health crisis head on using groundbreaking research from the Barna Group and Dr. Stephanie Shackelford.
Yeah. We've broken the season down into 6 vital themes, everything from navigating technology to caring for our own health as parents. And we're splitting each topic into 2 parts. Part 1, we look at the data and practical tips with Dr. Shackelford. And part 2, we bring in a guest, or in this case, some guests, plural, to help us kind of work through even more practical ideas that our families can use.
All right, so today's episode is super fun.
It is super
I'm really,
fun.
really excited. And it's a part 2 episode. So Stephanie shared about changing the story and sort of helping contextualize struggles and hope for healing. And we thought this would be really fun to bring in Generation Z and like hear from the Gen Zers. So here they are.
Welcome.
Tessa and Riley are with us today. So glad. Thank you guys for coming and speaking for the entirety of your generation.
Thank you. That's good.
No pressure.
No pressure.
At all.
Yeah, no.
All right. So we understand, just to kind of like start out, you guys have a little bit of like a Gen Z quiz for us. Is this right?
Yeah, we do. We wanted to have you guys say some Gen Z words in some sentences, see if you use it right.
Okay. Yeah. No
Well,
problem.
yeah.
Yeah. Of course we will.
Hopefully you can, obviously. I mean,
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty common
We're
language.
very hip.
We are very,
I didn't mean to
very.
All right. Go right ahead, Riley.
Okay, first one is Ohio.
Ohio.
You know this one, Andy?
Lived in Cleveland, Ohio as a child. Oh,
No. I know it.
You know it?
I do.
Come on.
Yeah, it's like you're walking like at school down the hallway and you go, Ohio! It's like, oh, hey!
Ohio!
Yeah.
No?
But I actually do like that better though.
Yeah, that's
You can
way
use
cooler.
it. You can use
I
it.
think I might.
Okay.
Do you want?
I need like the real answer. Yes, please.
It means, so this one I actually wasn't sure
Me
about.
neither. I didn't know
Oh.
until this
It
moment.
doesn't count if you
But
had to
it
look it up on the
means,
internet.
like strange, weird.
Yeah, I mean, I've known some people from Ohio.
Yeah.
So yeah, checks out.
States like.
Okay. All right. Give us the
Yeah,
next.
okay, so main character energy.
Main character energy. I would say that I've got main character energy.
So I would just, okay. Jokes.
Yeah, I would say you have main character energy.
Yeah, don't I?
Yeah.
It's giving, yeah.
So what it? But like, okay.
I don't know, like a strong
Presence.
presence.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Riz.
Oh, the Riz.
The Riz.
That's not even on there. That was a good one.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, that was good.
You see what I did there?
Oh,
Am I right or wrong?
No, that was good.
I mean, that's pretty
think
on.
That's as
Yeah.
Incorrect
as you
use
can.
of it, maybe, but
Oh
you know,
my
it was
gosh.
Damn, that's pretty.
All right.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Okay, next one. Well, do you want me to say just the letters or the? If you see the letters like on a text or something, and
Okay.
it says FRFR.
Oh, for real, for real.
I was
Yeah.
going to say for real.
Okay,
for
now
real,
use
too.
it in a sentence. Now use it in a sentence.
Oh,
I'm
I am awesome for real, for real.
Gosh,
That
I'm
was
having a
good.
really good
That
time for real.
Yes.
That was correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm
That's
good.
good.
Come on.
Again, hip.
Okay,
Like we
To be
said.
square.
I didn't say that.
You just say for real squared.
Hip to be square. Just
Yeah, down
move on.
then.
I don't think I remember that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Next,
Huey
next.
Lewis
All right,
in
what-
the news. No one knows who that is.
One more. Give us one more.
Okay.
Okay, wait, one more. We have to,
I think that one's a good one.
that one?
Or that one. Actually, they're all good.
I want to do that one, actually.
Okay, do it.
Okay. Bussin'.
Bussin'.
Oh,
yeah.
My daughter
No.
uses this all the time.
This podcast be bussin'.
It is bussin'.
Yes.
It is
Yeah, that's
totally
right,
bussin'.
that's right.
Everything is bussin',
Well, not.
according to my daughter.
Okay, bonus
It's
one.
bussin'.
Bonus one. Clock
Bonus.
it.
I have no
Do you know what that
Lock
means?
it.
Like,
Like zip it.
Like clock.
Stop.
I'm still
Enough.
like, I don't know. You did
Sure.
that.
So if
It
you
doesn't mean
got
it.
like for real, and I'd be like, clock it.
Yeah.
Clock it. That's it.
Gracious.
Y'all did pretty good. Y'all did pretty good.
As you can tell, Gen Z needs help. And so we're here to help them in their mental health
They're
challenges.
awesome.
Wow.
They were encouraging to the old people.
You know what?
Thank you for
I had a-
encouraging
yeah,
us.
Gen,
Thank you. I
Gen
appreciate
Z
that.
is bussin'.
They're
And so
very
we
sensitive.
will,
They're busting.
we're going to clock it on that particular segment
So
and
close.
move right
So
on.
far.
Okay, so we we like to start episodes not like that, although that was a
That was
really good
really
time.
good.
If you guys quickly could just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your family.
I'm Riley,
Hi, Riley.
and I grew up in a Christian household. I'm the oldest of 3 girls.
Okay.
And yeah, it was I had a really good home life. I'm really lucky to have grown up in the home that I did with going to church and loving Jesus. And yeah, that's me.
Excellent. And where'd you go to college?
UGA!
Okay, that was,
Go Dogs!
That was a little much. I was like excited about it, and then I got less
You're
excited.
gonna bark
This
this
is great.
I'm
No,
not,
it's
I'm
fine.
not,
Because
yeah,
it's all
yeah,
on.
it's okay,
It's all
it's okay.
kind of high
And
and mighty on
Riley,
these
Riley
things.
works at the ranch and
Yes.
is representing Gen Z for all of Eagle Ranch today. All right, Tessa.
No
So,
pressure.
hello, my name is Tessa. I am a junior in high school, and I grew up in a Christian household. My parents are literally amazing. I love them so much. I am the oldest of 3. I have a younger sister and a younger brother.
Okay.
Christian household, I always was taught to love Jesus.
Okay.
There was always music in our house, all family of musicians.
Right.
And yeah, so I serve at a church, and it's awesome.
Cool.
It's great.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for being here,
Yeah.
and this is going to be a really fun time. And for us, part of the hope and the dream of this was like, hey, we're talking about in this season, we're like talking about you guys, and I know because I've worked with Gen Z, like I have a ton of hope for your generation. I actually
Yeah.
love what I see in so many ways.
Yeah.
Now there are challenges for what's going on, but like, as a
Like every
person,
generation.
right, like, but as a person who has worked with young people, like I'm not like the sky is falling. I really don't believe it,
Yeah.
because I meet some of the coolest teenagers I've ever known that are Gen Zers.
For sure, for sure.
For real,
real, for
Oh, for real. Okay.
Close.
All right.
Dang it. All right.
And one of the things that's happening that's I don't think is wonderful is that Gen Z is sort of seeing themselves, this is like collectively the research would say, through this like therapeutic lens. And so there's this whole kind of self-diagnosis culture of like, well, the problem with me is that I have this, right? And so you have to like respect me because I have this, that, or the other.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think this is true? Do you agree? Do you disagree? And then kind of where have you seen this in your life or with the folks that you've come in contact with?
Yeah. I've got some in. Honestly, I do disagree with this.
Okay.
Just the almost like self-diagnosing, right? It almost has given, I feel like, a twinge of like we choose not to walk through hard things.
Okay.
Almost like we put a label on something instead of, asking open-handedly, God, how can you use this in my life?
Right.
If I get anxious about things, Lord, how can you move within my anxiety?
Right.
Or
Right.
my anxious thoughts. All of us have anxious thoughts, all of us get sad, but how can God move in the middle of that instead of calling it anxiety, depression? Now, are there extremes? Yes, I do think there are.
Yeah.
But
So, are you
Yeah.
saying that you feel like your generation does what you've just said, or
yes,
doesn't do?
I do think
Okay.
they're doing what I just said. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've seen that
You
in my
think
life.
they're more resilient than everybody's giving them credit for in some ways, right?
No, that's actually not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying I would say that in this generation, we lean towards self-diagnosing.
Okay.
We lean towards that.
Yeah.
And we are in that we almost don't walk through as many hard things.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Gotcha.
what
Right.
I'm saying.
Gotcha.
And
I would respond to that with, Lord, how can you work in the middle of
Right.
this?
Okay.
That's
right.
what I'm
But
saying.
that's not the norm.
Yeah, it's not the norm.
For the most part.
Yeah.
That you're seeing.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Riley?
Yeah. I'm kind of in both areas because I agree with it in that I do believe Gen Z has more of a therapeutic outlook on life.
Okay.
And with my parents and my grandparents, I know that going to therapy or getting help or saying you had some sort of mental health issue was like don't talk about it.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
that's so
Yeah.
embarrassing. Stop. So I agree with it in the sense of like I feel more open to talk about it, and this mental health has been a conversation in like
Right.
my social groups and amongst
Yeah.
my friends, which I think is really good. However, kind of like what Tessa was saying, it can be an excuse for like this is my identity. And it kind of like when I was thinking about this question, it made me think of the personality test or like a BuzzFeed quiz where it's like what flavor ice cream
Kelly,
am I?
BuzzFeed is it's an application on the iPhone, or it's on the World Wide Web. Keep going.
Yeah. So, you know,
Online.
those quizzes that are
Wow.
like, what type of ice cream am
I'm
I?
listening, Riley.
And
Yes.
you get cookie dough. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that gives you some sort of satisfaction of this is what type of ice cream flavor I am. Mental health is like a lot more serious, clearly. But I do think it plays the same role of, okay,
Yeah.
I was told that I have depression. I was told I have anxiety, ADHD,
Yeah.
you name it. Therefore, that's how I'm supposed to act.
Yeah.
And so it gets taken to a whole new level of like, this is my identity.
Yeah. It's almost like, I don't know, I sort of view it like a pendulum. Like,
Yeah.
if you think about our
Yeah.
parents,
Yes.
myself, like my parents, grandparents, we were maybe too far the pendulum this way of
Yeah.
suck it up,
Yeah.
buttercup.
Right.
Yeah.
And then now it's like over here. And maybe
On
it
the
needs to be
opposite.
somewhere here,
Yeah.
you know.
exactly.
So.
Well, I mean, I was laughing thinking you saying like, yeah, me and my friends, we like talk about mental health. Like, I mean, at your age, like, I don't know. I don't know that I knew what the word mental health was.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
and
I think
so-
about my girls, you know, so I have 3 daughters. They're 19, 20, 21, something like that. Anyways, they'll be like, you know, Mom, I'm dysregulated, you know, and I'm like, what
Yeah,
are they,
yeah.
I've never
what
heard
do
that
you,
one.
yeah, right. So,
Yeah.
you know, they're just using all the lingo
Yeah.
Yes.
and I don't know if they're using it correctly or not.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't want to discount like because there have been so many people in my life, right? That like it almost is like it is generational thing where I can see that in my grandparents and my parents of like they don't want to talk about stuff. You know, they don't want to talk about things. And I do agree with Riley of like I feel so much more comfortable talking about my
Yeah.
feelings. And I think that's a lot of like also what my parents taught me. Like me as a
Yes.
person, I'm really not afraid to talk about things. I'm not
Right.
afraid to like open up, you know, talk about what I'm going through. And a lot of that has to do with the way that my parents raised
Yeah.
me and allowed me to have an open
Right.
like time to talk about like what was making me like why are you feeling anxious
Right.
instead of like focusing on the symptoms. I want to think about what is causing those things, you know,
Right.
what is the causing the symptoms, what is the root of that. So
That's good.
I don't want to like discount like it does matter that you should talk about things, you know, should open up because getting therapy is great. And I know so many people that I would rather them go to therapy and talk about it than not talk to anyone.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
Right.
So,
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, to your point, the pendulum needed to swing from like
yeah.
you
From nothing.
conceal, don't feel to like, hey, there is like a space to talk about what's
Yeah.
going on in your
Yeah.
heart and your life, and
Right.
there's something very healing about being vulnerable with a person. It's sort of, but then it's like. It's not healing to go like, and this is just who I am. And you're like, well,
Yeah.
hold on, like let's like a wise
It's
not all of
person
you. Mhm.
walks
Yes.
with you to say, hey, but that's not who God's called you to be.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
how do we walk into
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
different? Which brings us to the second question, which is to build resilience in your life, what habits or rhythms are non-negotiable? Or you can compare the differences that exist when you're resilient versus not resilient. So like for you guys, because the two of you are on this because you're resilient Gen Zers, right? You've kind of like walked through this. We see you as the shining stars of the generation. Like what habits or rhythms are non-negotiable for you?
Okay, if I'm labeling myself resilient, right? Part of the reason why I would say that I am resilient is because it's because I have parents who taught me to go to God about everything. You know, go ask him. Don't skip over asking the Holy Spirit for guidance. Don't skip
Right.
over asking why, asking for, you know, discernment in that. And a lot of that, like that has caused me God's whispered things of like, okay, come closer, like learn more
Right.
about me, and that in you is going to grow something that causes that grows confidence and resilience in that. And a lot of that is like I spend daily time with the Lord. It's not always in the Word. It's always with the Lord, though. No matter what that looks like, it is always with the Lord, and trying to enter His presence and just be hands and feet of Jesus. And that in itself, I feel like I've seen so much in my life that when there's a fullness of the Holy Spirit and the fullness of, spending time with Him, He grows the fruits of the Spirit in you and allows you to be resilient in that, and showing like, okay, when I face anxiety, when I face, sadness or trials in my life, what do? I don't just hide it. I don't just like sit here in it. I go to God about it. I ask Him for guidance in that.
Yeah,
For real, clock it.
Can you, if you're comfortable, can you share like a real life example of a time recently, maybe that you were really struggling or brokenhearted or just devastated, anxious, and what that was and what you actually took to the Lord?
Yeah. So I would say this was about like 2 years ago. I grew up a pastor's kid, and I've learned that like I took a lot of pride, and I took a lot of like, that was my identity. I identified in being a pastor's kid. And my dad moved on from, working at a church, and a lot of the community, I just felt like ripped out of something that I had been so close in for such a long time. And it was really hard for me, because then I figured out that I had so much underlying pride of like being the best, like I was that kid, and I didn't realize how much like that just affected the way I lived life. I thought I had like a belief that I was better, like because I had grown up in the church, I had more like Holy Spirit points,
Right.
And that was a part of me that like I felt like I had been ripped away from community that I had, been so tied to for such a long time. And when that changed, that had been the first thing in my life that was like big, For all of my life, I always felt like my testimony was so like vanilla, so bland, because you grow up in a Christian household and you read the Bible and you know all these stories, and you go to your church all the way through elementary school, middle school, all those things, and you hear all the same things. I always felt like my testimony was bland. And that was the first thing that I struggled through. And I was like, whoa, I didn't realize that, this is going to be a lot harder than I thought it was. Right. And in that, I just remember feeling that the Lord had never left me. I can look back at it at that season. That was really hard, with everything changing in my life and a lot of problems coming from that. I remember feeling just the closeness of the Holy Spirit and Him keeping His promise that like, I don't leave you stranded.
Right.
I don't leave you in your trials, in your valleys. Like there is intentionality with what I'm doing in this season. So honestly, that like, I remember just the desperation. I remember sitting in my loft, like on my couch in the mornings, and I would be trying everything with my personality. I wanted to make my quiet time perfect to make it seem like, the Lord would then meet me if I had got it perfect. But so much of it, I just remember feeling so desperate, and the Lord just met me where I was, and it was like, you don't have to live up to this perfection. You're not going to. I asked you to just come to me and be my daughter.
That's good.
So it's just that built so much resilience in me to allow me to like, sometimes you have to keep coming back. You have to keep following Him. Like it's the act of going to God and God drawing near to you that you chip away at your heart of stone to like reveal like just this tender heart that God's trying to grow something in you.
That's good. Well, and I've worked with a lot of teenagers over the years, Tessa, and I like to say, like, if you feel like you have a vanilla testimony, like, you just thank God for that. Like, that's God's grace in your life, right? Like, these kids like, I wish I had like some great testimony. Like, no, you don't.
It's like, I don't think
it means
I
like you had to go through something like really, really down. And so I'm very grateful for the way that the Lord sort of was His grace in my life. Riley, same question for you. Like, kind of habits or rhythms for you that have kind of helped you be.
I mean, echo everything. Spending time with the Lord and getting in that secret place with the Lord, and just really like making sure you have that, and but also having your people, finding a solid group of people. I said this earlier, but I'm so lucky with the family that I grew up in. But I also, through college, had, and still do, they're still some of my best friends, but had this incredible group of girls who all loved the Lord and were just pursuing him. And there was a period in my life where I faced some really dark depression, and that was like horrible. And so if you know anyone with depression, it's like sometimes you can't even get out of bed in the morning. It seems like the hardest thing. And so looking at someone who has depression and being like, speak life over yourself, speak that over yourself, like, yes. And also, I can't. It's impossible. So with community, it's like you have those people around you to where when you can't do that, they're fighting for you in prayer. They're the ones speaking life over you. And I mean, to this day, I'm so lucky to have gone on the other side of that and be able to look at it in hindsight. But it still reigns true today of being like, okay, when I feel weak, I know that these people can be strong for me. So I think that's a non-negotiable, is having those people that you can like really be vulnerable with. And it's scary to share what you're going through, but it like breaks these barriers of like, okay, the enemy actually cannot get you there anymore because you got
he
people
wants you to
battling
keep it in the dark.
So yeah, I feel like that's the biggest thing with that question.
Well, and I think in both of y'all's stories, I think the cool thing that God does is you both went through something really, really hard, and you came out on the other side, and you realize, hey, I'm better for it, I'm wiser for it. And so when the next thing happens, you just have that sort of to build on, like, he's going to get me through this, just like he got me through that. So, you know, there is beauty in the struggle sometimes, for sure.
I'm curious. We're a parenting podcast, which neither of you are parents. Although Riley, I mean, I do. You're not a parent, but like you do an incredible job of. I like transition weirdly there, but like you do work with young women and young men in our program and do an incredible job of pointing them to Jesus. And so I need to like point that out, that you have an incredible like mentor role in their life that's really special. But how have adults, your parents or others in your life, impacted the way you see and go through challenges? Like, speak to kind of adults in your life, parents, whoever it might be, who've kind of helped you along the way.
Yeah, I mean, I keep talking about my parents, but I really just, they're incredible. And in that period of darkness in my life, it was a period of darkness for my whole family. And it was really bad. It was just one of those things where you get knocked over and it feels like you're just keep getting punched or kicked while you're down. So that really was horrible, but I do not remember one moment my parents being like, well, this is it. I can't do it anymore. We're leaving the church. We're leaving God. Like, he's forsaken us. You know, it's that was never coming out of their mouth. And I remember we would sit at the dinner table and just would cry together and we would pray together. And that's what I remember, which is crazy because it was such a hard time. But I remember my parents being like, no, we got this.
Yeah, it's
and
like
we're
that faithfulness.
Gonna push through it. Yes. And so that's the biggest thing
beautiful.
Is them being like, nope, we're going to continue to praise. We're going to continue to praise him because we know God's on our side, even when it feels like he's not. We know that he is. And yeah, just praying together was a big one, and allowing ourselves to cry in front of each other, which is a little awkward. Like, it is. Like, it's awkward. But it just like, it pushes past that, you know, you push past the awkwardness and you're like, wow, that's so powerful.
We sort of like, there are times in our life where we borrow like the courage of somebody else. And so a parent who, or an adult, a mentor in somebody's life who's able to like sort of encourage, embody encourage for somebody else can oftentimes like give somebody something they don't have in and of themselves. And your parents gave you a gift in that, right? They were willing and able in a time that was challenging to sort of have the, I don't know, wisdom and foresight to say, we are going to get through this together. It's hard. I see you in the challenge, and we're going to get through this. And
Yeah.
I mean, what a gift that your parents gave. They do sound
Yeah.
wonderful.
They're awesome.
We
Yeah,
might
this
have
is
to have
awesome.
them on the show.
We should have them on the podcast too. Oh, that'd be fun. All right, Tessa, any thoughts for you on that? On just adults who have impacted your life?
Yeah. Honestly, like my parents and older women in my life who
Yeah.
I have gone to for that. And a huge part of that is I think it was so important for me to have my parents, but also have another person, right? And like you have, I have my peers and yes, all those things, but and I'm not discounting community in any way because that is literally the thing that got me into the next season. But also having she's my small group leader, and I just remember her being so present. It wasn't even, yes, she said like, Tessa, I'm here for you. I'm there for you. But
Right.
she was always there. She was always around. She was always present. She always made me feel like she was a welcome place to go to. And really, my parents have done a great job of, again, just allowing us kids to feel like we have a place to talk to them about things. Even in the seasons where it did feel really hard to talk to them about things.
Yeah.
They still made it seem like, we're going to try and figure out this together. We're not going to have all the answers because this is our first time living. This is our first time doing all these things and trying to walk with God. So we're going to bring you along and try and do all those things together. And just the way that my parents sought the Lord.
Yeah.
They were in their own way. They were looking for Him, and they were figuring out and trying to, construct them walking with the Lord better than they did before. So
I think both of you all kind of hit on something. So I think sometimes we think on people helping us grow in our relationship with the Lord. We're thinking more of like sermons or people kind of preaching or teaching to you. And in both of these cases, it was really just you watching how they're responding to life. It's like, what is that? Things are more caught than taught.
Yeah.
So just that. And, as a parent, that brings me great hope sometimes because I don't sometimes have the right words or I don't know what to do. But, as a mom, I want to be steadfast. I want to be present. And those things speak more sometimes than the actual words.
Yeah.
Well, and the research shows, or you talked about like this older lady who's walked alongside you, like the research that Stephanie has done that we're like based this whole season on says one of the most valuable things for young people is intergenerational relationships. So do you know an adult that's not your parents who can speak into your life, who cares for you and who loves you, that you trust, that you can say things that maybe you wouldn't even say to your parents, right? That's a super valuable, and that's been true forever, but it's especially true now that you would have a relationship with an adult who you trust it's really valuable.
All right, I have a question.
Okay, good.
I gotta ask. And I gotta ask. Have either one of you, y'all are just going on and on about how awesome it is. It's like, as a mom myself, I'm like, I think they all would say I'm awesome now, but there was a season where I was not awesome.
Right.
Y'all have that, or have they just always been the best? Tell the truth. It's okay. I can take it.
No, I think my parents have always been the best. I don't think I was able to realize that
So
until I got out of, I was out of their house. It's harder when you're in their house.
Okay, so talk. So you gave mom some pushback, gave dad a little bit of pushback.
High school, my mom said she was scared of me.
Right, this is making me feel much better because y'all are like the Stepford daughters, which y'all have no idea what that reference is. But
It means you're really great.
Oh, shut up.
I was unaware that they were scared of me, and like my sisters and my parents, I would come down the stairs, and apparently they would be like, oh my gosh. They would tiptoe because they were like, what mood is she going to be in?
Really?
And apparently a lot of times it was bad.
Was it like my parents
don't
don't
believe
know
it.
anything? Or were you like my parents don't know anything or they don't understand or?
Oh, everyone was stupid.
Okay. All right. I feel much better now. I feel
And I
much
do
better.
feel like I can say that and because I'm way past that now.
Okay.
And I don't feel that way anymore.
Okay.
I know that's not true.
Okay.
But, when you're a teenager.
Yeah,
right?
no,
Yeah,
I
for
think this
sure.
is helpful.
sure.
Think about all the parents that are listening that are their
Yes.
kids right now
And-
are saying you are stupid.
You
So
know,
you're saying,
I think
look
back.
at
I
Riley.
never told them they were stupid. I
Well,
never
yeah,
did.
Okay.
A lot of young people have
I
done
was-
that though.
I was just always angry towards them.
So they just knew that you
And look
thought
how
they were
you
stupid.
turned out. And look how
You
you
didn't
My
have to say it with your
actions.
words.
My actions.
All right, I got to ask over here.
Yes. So I think it was a little different for me. I went from a season where like I always thought my parents were on this pedestal, right? And then we went through a hard season as a family, and then I realized that they weren't. But then they became also my friends, which
Okay.
made a huge difference in the way I talk to them, the way I process with them. Like, and there was never like an unhealthy balance between like, you're more of my friend, you know, like that,
Yeah.
that could get to be too far. But there was a transition that I felt where I was like, wow, like you guys are not perfect. And so
Right.
am I. But honestly, like I find so much comfort in being your person, also
Right.
your friend, you know,
Right.
like we can talk about things, and like I see so much of that. Obviously there's still boundaries. They are my parents and I respect them, and
Right.
all those things.
It's just a different level
it was
of
a different level,
relation.
which allowed me to see things a lot differently. It allowed me to see their imperfections, the way that they're also walking with God, which I do think changed the way I saw them, because I saw them being imperfect. I saw them, you know, trying to walk with God also, but
Yeah.
also trying to parent and do all the things and be
Yeah.
a human. So it
Yeah.
made me respect them as a person
Well,
and see there was grace for that.
I kind of think one of the things that Dr. Shackelford talks about is this idea of transparency with your kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and again, you
Yeah.
don't want to
Mm-hmm.
be inappropriately sharing,
Yeah.
but you know, if I as a mom say something I shouldn't have said or handled something poorly, to come back and say, you know, gosh, Riley, I'm so sorry. I
Yeah.
handled that so poorly. You know, you shouldn't have done what you did, but I
Yes.
shouldn't have done that either.
Yeah.
I would just think that would be received.
Yes.
And,
Would that
it,
be
and that's what my
received?
parents did.
Okay.
I
100%.
remember that, and I feel like that allowed me to see them as a person
Because
instead of just like
I
this.
just think as a parent, sometimes you're thinking, well, I have to put up this facade
Right.
that I know
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And y'all are like, no, I'd rather you not.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
something changed when my parents told me, like, I don't know everything. I need you
Yeah.
to understand that I don't know everything, and I'm trying to walk
What?
through this with God.
Right.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
are you
Right.
kidding me? You don't?
Right.
And it's hard for a kid, but you know, I got through that and was able to see like, well, we're gonna go through this together
Yeah.
and figure
Yeah.
all these things out. So yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Guys, we're pretty much out of time here. Riley, I'm going to ask you to hand me your paper there that has all the Gen Z terms. I'm about
Oh,
to do,
jeez.
watch this right here. Okay, guys, I'm about to wrap it up
Are you rapping?
with all Gen Z terms. Are you ready?
Oh.
Guys, you
Oh.
totally weren't Ohio. For real. You guys gave strong main character energy. This
Wow.
episode was bussin'.
Bussin'.
Wow.
It was.
No op.
Yes.
It was straight to
You didn't go through two
it was straight to
words.
Lulu. All right.
It was Delulu.
For real.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah. Okay.
To everyone else who speaks actual English, thank you
They're
Ah,
laughing
geez.
for
off
tuning
camera.
in
They're
today.
laughing
Whether
off
you're feeling the
camera.
weight of the digital world or just trying to understand what your teenager is saying, we hope this episode gave you a sense of hope today.
Gave me a sense of hope.
Yes,
Okay.
amen.
Remember, this is a two-part conversation. So we heard today just some real practical application and life lessons from you ladies. Thank you very much. Next week we'll tune in and learn more about tackling the Gen Z mental health crisis in our talk with Dr. Stephanie Shackelford. We're going to have to use some of those terms on
Yeah, well,
her.
that
You
would
should
be a
test
good time.
her,
Yeah,
see
we
what
should
she
test
knows.
her.
Well, I think
Yeah.
she knows some things.
All right, Riley and Tessa, you guys made this episode super fun. If you
Yes.
liked
Thank you.
this, please leave us a review on Apple or Spotify. Listen to the whole of the season. It helps other parents find this community, recommend to your friends, and all of that.
Absolutely. Please help get us connected on Facebook and Instagram and the Instagram. And we want to hear how you are implementing these practical ideas in your own family.
I literally joined the Facebook when it was when you could only have a .edu. You had to be a
Yes.
college student
Wow.
to have a Facebook profile.
I watched a documentary about that.
Oh my gosh!
It was like
you
5
were not
million
alive
years
when
ago.
I joined Facebook.
Crazy.
That is wild.
All
I
right.
am officially old, and I have a lot of hope in Gen Z because
Yes.
of the two of you.
Yes.
Sorta. Thanks again for listening. Have a great week.